everybody, this is Alyssa from Mink Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for a WIP and chat. Woo! Today's WIP and chat, WIP stands for work in progress. Chat, well, we're going to sit here, we're going to chat, we're going to talk a little bit about what I've been up to, all of that fun stuff. Let me pull out my photo so you can see what I'm working on. I am working on this canvas right here. I'm about to start it. This is Chakra Lotus, and it's by Gorbash Varvara. It is a 56 by 50 centimeter round drill canvas, and it has a grand total of 7 colors. So in case you're wondering, we're at like grand total of 7 colors. I think it's discontinued. What am I using today for my tools? I am using my Yellow Dog Designs tray. I'll probably end up primarily using this pen right here. This is a Norse Alchemist pen. It's a hybrid and it's stunning and I love it. And I think I have a Randa's Crafty Corner putty. Pardon me. I think I have a Randa's Crafty Corner putty and a wee wax, but those are in like a storage container down there. So I am currently, I think that's everything, yes. So I am currently at my, we're just going to pull the plastic back, at my parents' house. I came over for the weekend to spend it with my parents, so I am filming this from their house. And I'm filming from my mom's art studio, so it's going to be a little bit different than normal, which is why, you know, the setup seems a little bit different, all that fun stuff. So we're going to go ahead and break into this canvas. There's a lot of 310 in this kit. Basically, the entire border is 310. And then the rest of this is not 310. There's some 939 in there, that type of thing, but no more 310. So we're going to get started. I think that's the edge of my light pad right there. Because again, I'm at my parents' place and I'm in my mom's studio. So I am using her easel, her spare easel, and her light pad, her spare light pad to work with, because I did not bring my stuff. I usually don't bring all of that stuff with me because I know my mom has an extra easel and she has an extra light pad, so I just use her stuff whenever I come for like the weekend or holidays and whatnot. So anywho, we are starting this one. Look at that 310, beautiful. And it's a color blocking, lovely. At least the border is color blocking, and then I'm gonna have a lot of like line blocky stuff for the rest of it for this canvas, but there's not a lot of colors, so it'll, you know, I'll be able to work it slowly and steadily. So what have I been up to? Well, first and foremost, today is actually my birthday. I'm filming this on Sunday morning. I was so busy on Friday, and I didn't even get back, or I didn't even get to a point where I would have time to do any filming on Friday until like literally 1 o'clock in the morning. Because Friday I got off of work, went home, immediately packed, grabbed all the stuff, grabbed the girls, because the girls come with me when I visit my mom, of course. Grabbed the girls and left like immediately. Once everything was packed, I immediately like threw the girls in the car or in their kennel and then like took off. So what are you up to? Sushi's climbing in the window, staring out the window, looking at bugs and wildlife, because, you know, we're in the woods. So my voice is all freshly morning froggy. So basically it was like left immediately, got here, and we had dinner, and then because it was by the time I got here it was like 7 or so, so we had dinner and then hung out and chatted a little bit, and then after dinner I had my painting class. Normally I do my painting class on Saturday mornings, so I do Chinese brush painting for anybody who doesn't know. So had my painting class, which is usually Saturdays from 12:30 to 3:30, but didn't want to, you know, take up any time that we could be doing stuff together. So we were planning on going kayaking Saturday morning, in the Gulf, because, you know, it's like 10 minutes from my parents' place, because I'm on the Gulf Coast of Florida right now. So we were going to go kayaking. So I did my painting class on Friday night so that I could actually do kayaking and hang out and do stuff and not have to worry about being like, oh, gotta go do painting class. So that was the plan. And then and painting class went until midnight because my master is in California that I study under. So we, so basically finished class at midnight. And then I was so excited because I finally got, oh my goodness, you guys would not believe it. I finally got my custom in from Diamond Art Club. That came in Friday right before I left the house. So I brought it with me because my mom is the one that painted the image. And it is stunning, but I forced myself to not look at it or unbox it because I wanted to unbox it with like her right there, since I was like, this is perfect timing. I'm coming here. So we did an unboxing, and my mom was there for the unboxing. So look for that probably this week. We'll see. And then, so we did the unboxing. And by the time we finished with that and like oohing ahhing over the canvas, which looks so good, by the way, by the time we got done doing all of that, it was already almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And at that point, it's like, it's late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Like literally, it was a matter of saying, okay, now I need to go to bed. So then I went to bed, and that was my Friday. Like there was literally not a moment of just like downtime in it. It was just go, 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 go. Saturday was a little bit like a slower pace. So Saturday we ended up doing oh gosh, sorry, I distracted myself. So Saturday was we were gonna go kayaking, like I said, but it started storming, and it was basically storming pretty much most of Saturday yesterday. But it was one of those things where we were like, if it was just raining, we would have still gone kayaking. But since it was storming, like thunder and lightning, it's like, we're not going to be out on the water kayaking in thunder and lightning. That's just silliness. So there was no kayaking yesterday. Bummer. So we didn't get a chance to take the kayaks out. We'll have to do that next time I'm over. So from there, we did go down to the beach though, because there was like a little bit of a lull. So we did go down to the beach, which is like, 10 minutes from my parents' place to get to the beach. Went down there to, see the water. My parents love to just like walk in the edge of the water. I don't, because if your feet get wet, then you get sandy. But I love being at the beach where I can, hear the water, have the breeze, just, all of that. So did that Saturday morning, and then we went back, and then we were thinking about what we wanted to eat, and then we were like, you know what? My dad was like, well, why don't we go do, because by this time it's like 1:30ish or so, almost like 1:30, maybe close to 2 o'clock or so, somewhere around in there. And he's like, why don't we go to, there's like this really, really good seafood restaurant here. That's like the best seafood in like probably the county, but people from a few towns over always come here to eat at this restaurant. That's how good it is. So we're like, let's go there, because I love seafood. My mom loves seafood. So we did that for birthday dinner. But first we had to go back, come back here so we could change and get ready. And then once we had changed, showered, all of that stuff, because, we're not going to do all that before you go to the beach. So once we changed and showered and everything, we headed back out to go for like a late lunch, early dinner. And it started like torrential downpouring as we were driving. Torrential downpour. So we get to the restaurant, and we're just sitting there, and we're like trying to see if it'll like wait for a lull so we could go inside. And there's like literally like rivers of water where it was impossible to get to the front door of the restaurant without walking through a river of water. That's how much rain there was. And you can see there was like, we sat there in the parking lot for probably like 10 or 15 minutes before we just said, okay, we're done, we're hungry, we need to go inside. And we just kind of like made a break for it. And I wear flip-flops. Whenever it rains, I always make a point of wearing flip-flops. Realistically, I wear flip-flops all the time. That's like my shoe of choice. If I have to wear a shoe, I would prefer it to be a flip-flop. And my mom also is the same. So my dad had just like regular shoes on. So he's like walking carefully so he doesn't get his shoes wet, kind of trying to walk on like the heels, because the water is, like 1.5 inches deep, somewhere around in there. So he's trying to walk so he doesn't get his shoes wet. And then I just like walk straight. I kind of like run over to the awning, and then I just walk straight regular because, I've got flip-flops on. So if my feet get wet, it's fine because they're flip-flops. And my mom did the same thing because she also had flip-flops on. So we did that. Sorry, I have like a frog in my throat this morning. So we got inside, and it was like everybody, there was a whole bunch of people that were like waiting for a lull before they left because it was raining so hard, but it wasn't letting off. So my mom and I split a meal. We got like, basically their big combo platter. My dad had like I think he had redfish, and like sweet potato fries and a salad. That's what my dad ended up having. But my mom and I split like the ultimate dish, which is like, it is like the best dish that they have. But it's crab cakes, shrimp, fish, oysters, and scallops, all of it. So we went blackened, so we got everything blackened, which was so delicious. And then we had a loaded, man, my voice is just not with it today. So we had a loaded baked potato and then baked beans to go with ours. So had that, and then proceeded. Oh, it was so good. And we had stuff here for dessert, so we were like not worried about trying to get dessert there. And I still have like half of my baked potato and most of my scallops, and then some like an oyster or two left. So like my mom and I splitting this meal really was like 4 meals, which is why we split it, because there was so much food, and that way we weren't, stuck with a ton of leftovers for it. But oh my goodness, so good. They make really good seafood. All right. I think I'm back, and I think my voice is going to cooperate now. I had to do some coughing to get the voice cleared up a little bit. It's still probably going to be only partially with it. But anyways, yes, food was so good for lunch yesterday. And then we just kind of chilled for a little bit. And a couple hours later, we ended up having, there's a lot of like random little square drills in here. A couple hours later, we ended up having dessert, which I think was like a chocolate cream pie that we had in the freezer or something like that. So we had dessert, and then after dessert, just kind of chilled for a bit. We came back over here to the studio. My dad just sat and chilled while my mom and I diamond painted. And I was making good progress because I wanted to finish last night. I wanted to finish the Princess Lulu portrait, which I did finish. I finished her last night. Oh my goodness, that canvas looks so good, you guys. There. I didn't bring my paperweights with me for my canvas, so I'm like using my phone stand to hold it instead. And this easel is like slightly shallower ledge on the front than what my easel has. So it's the same size as my easel. It's nice and big, but it doesn't have the a deep enough ledge for my preferences. But anyways, so yeah, my mom and I diamond painted. My dad just sat in the chair next to us, watching like a movie or something like that. I think he was watching Sicario or something. I think that's what he said he was watching. But he sat and was watching a movie while we diamond painted. My mom finished her section, and I almost finished my section, which was the last section for that canvas. And then I almost finished it, but then my parents were like, okay, we're gonna go to bed, because it was, a little bit after midnight. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna stay up because I have to finish this section before I can go to bed, because that's just, how it works when you're so close. I had like 2 colors left to be done with the canvas. Not counting the fact that those 2 colors left to be done with the canvas were like 2 of the most prevalent colors. So it was a good chunk of the section left to do. But I wasn't worried about that. I'm like, I'll finish it. It's only 2 colors. It'll go quickly. So I stayed up late enough to finish the section, and then I went to bed. And throughout the day, like, Sushi has been just chilling and laying on the bed in here, because I usually sleep in the studio. Sushi has been laying on the air mattress that I sleep on when I'm over here. Just chilling, happy little cat. Just happy little clam. all day yesterday, and I was just like, oh, she's sleeping so much and just chilling so much that when it's time to go to bed, she's going to be a little chaos gremlin and is not going to want to sleep. Well, sure enough, I think I got out of bed like 6 times between 1 a.m. when I went to bed and like 2:30 or 3, because Sushi kept like chaosing. She was playing with the spring, and then she got the spring stuck in the box. Then she's scrabbling at the box because she can't get the spring out of the box, and I had to go get up and get it out because I couldn't sleep because she's scrabbling at a box. It was just like, and then she'd move on from that, and she'd go like streak from one side of the room to the other, jumping on me in the process of streaking from one side to the other. And it just kept going on, and then she'd find something else to scrabble at and do. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to climb on these things and knock this stuff over. And it just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, would you stop? Would you just go to bed, little cat? Meanwhile, Mochi is, laying on the bed with me, like watching the chaos happen because, she judges Sushi. That's what Mochi does. It was just like, oh, good grief. But anyways, I expected it. I mean, that's what I knew that was going to happen when, she was just chilling all day long, because I know this little chaos gremlin. I know what she's like. And she was in total chaos gremlin mode. And I'm just like, couldn't you do this like, earlier and not like in the evening when, we were still up? Why did you have to wait until 2 o'clock in the morning to cause chaos gremlin? So that was the Sushi chaos. It was so wonderful. Yay. Oh my goodness. So my Mochi's favorite person in the world is my dad. Like, if she could pick one person and have that one person at all times, it wouldn't be me. She loves me, but her absolute favorite person of all time is my dad. So while he's sitting there watching his movie and my mom and I are diamond painting, Mochi is literally curled up on his lap, like between him and the side of the chair, as snug as she could get, purring away in this cute, pathetic little cat bundle. Oh my goodness, she was ridiculous. She was a happy clam because, of course, my dad was petting her the entire time. I pet her for a few minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I'm tired of petting you. You can lay here, but I'm not going to pet you anymore. But no, my dad was petting her the entire time. So she got like almost 2 hours of nonstop little pets. And she was so happy. Meanwhile, Sushi laid over on the bed and judged us in this little judgy cat pose, because that's Sushi and that's what she does. But, oh, it was hilarious. Earlier in the evening, like before we had dessert, my mom and I were diamond painting, and my dad brought Essie over, which is their older of their 2 dogs. She's also the smaller one. So when I got Mochi, I got her in like right around in the middle of COVID. I think my parents picked her up, I think in like May of 2020 is when they picked her up from the breeder and got her. And then, of course, she had to stay with my parents because I was in Hawaii at the time and they were in Kentucky. So that she had to stay with my parents until she could get her all of her stuff to come to Hawaii. So she has to have 2 rabies shots, and like at least a month apart. And once she had the rabies shots a month apart, then she could get her blood titer drawn and get that sent into the Department of Agriculture in Hawaii, is the one that handles all of that. But basically, Hawaii is a rabies-free island, so they go through a very in-depth like quarantine process for pets to make sure that if you're bringing your dog or your cat or whatever over, you don't have any chance of carrying rabies or anything like that with you. So they take it very seriously. So it's something that it wasn't until October. So they picked her up, I think in late April, early May. It wasn't until October of that year that everything was done, and my mom was able to ship her to me. And I was able to pick up her little carcass and have my little Momo. So it was at that point, she was, her birthday's in January. So at that point, she was like 9 months old by the time I got her, but she had been with my parents since like April, May timeframe, so she knew my parents really well. And they were in the process of remodeling their old house that they lived in before moving to Florida. So Mochi primarily was in the studio. They put up a screen so she couldn't have access to the whole house because they were remodeling, like major remodeling the house. And they didn't want her to, anything to happen to her while they're doing all this remodeling work. So they put up a screen door at the top of the stairs for my mom's art studio, and because that was upstairs at the old farmhouse that they lived in, and they put her there, and that's where she just kind of stayed. So anytime, every day when my mom would go upstairs to the studio to spend time with her, and then their dog Essie was only like a year old at the time. Essie wasn't that much older than her, maybe a year old. But so Essie was still, young dog. But those two would just play like nobody's business. They would play and play and play, roughhouse with each other, play. You'd like, my mom would send me video clips of Mochi hanging off of Essie's like beard, because Essie is a mini golden doodle mix, and she's got like this really robust, poofy little like beard and mustache going on. So you look at her and there would be this small little cat dangling from her beard. It was so funny. But they would like literally just roughhouse and play and have an absolute blast. And that was what Mochi was used to before she got to my house, and I had my pug, and Mylan was like, I don't want anything to do with you. You want me to play with you? I don't play. I lay and I sleep and I toast. That was Mylan's mindset. But anyways, so I got those two love each other, and if Mochi could pick one creature, whether human or animal, to spend her time with, it would be Essie. Like, so my dad brought Essie over to the studio yesterday afternoon, and came right in the door, like popped her, because it was raining outside, so he carried her over so she wouldn't be wet, popped her on the floor, and she immediately started rubbing her face all over Mochi. Mochi was like rubbing back all over her. It was the cutest thing ever. They were adorable. They just started like loving on each other. And then Essie's like all excited because I'm there. Mochi's there. Everybody's in here. So she was like, a super ball of energy because she was so excited. And Sushi, I think, was sitting on the bed or something like that. But she kept like wanting to say hi to Sushi. And Sushi that like has only... she met the dogs for the first time when I moved out here in November, but that was her first time ever meeting a dog, was back then. So she's still not too sure about these things. She does well with Essie, but it's one of those things where when Essie's that ball of energy like that and just like vibrating and off the walls, like that super hyped energy, Sushi was like, I'm not having any of that. So she would try to get close to Sushi, and Sushi would basically was like, I'm gonna smack you. And finally, like, Essie just couldn't resist the temptation because she wanted to say hi so badly. So she runs over to Sushi and jumps her front paws up on the edge of the bed that Sushi's laying on. Sushi looks at her and gives out a ferocious little Sushi hiss. But the funny part about it is that Sushi was not like scared cat. She was just like, you are too much, settle down kind of a thing. But she wasn't scared. She wasn't running and hiding. None of that. She was like, I'm watching you, but I'm going to stay right here and not move, which is huge because normally she has to sneak up on Essie. And there was no sneaking. It was like, I am right here. And Essie's like, oh my gosh, I want to say hi to you. So Essie's like jumping up on the edge of the bed. And then Sushi's like, I'm going to hiss you. So Essie goes like 2 feet over and jumps on the edge of the bed there. And Sushi's like, I'm going to follow you and hiss at you. Okay, and now you're pushing it. So now I'm going to slap you. Oh my goodness. It was so hilarious. So Sushi's slapping her. And Essie is like, oh my gosh, she slapped me. Because Essie's a little scaredy dog. She's a little wimp dog. She's not like the dominant alpha dog in any way, shape, or form. Essie's like, you slapped me. And she like kind of like pathetic dog runs over to my mom and dad. She's like, she slapped me. Hey, but the epic part, Sushi followed her. Sushi was literally stalking her. And if she hadn't jumped up on my dad's lap, if Essie hadn't jumped up on my dad's lap, then Sushi legit would have like stalked her and slapped her and beat up on her some more. She was literally following the dog to beat up on the dog. And I'm like, you are a little rascal. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, that is hilarious, Susu. Because she's never done that. And she was making some noises in some vocalizations that I've never heard her make before. Oh my word. And then of course, once Essie settled down, Sushi was completely fine. She was like, okay, you settled down. I can be sitting here, like, you know, a foot away from you and be just fine. But for the majority of it, Essie just laid on my dad's lap, and then Mochi jumped up and laid on the other side of his lap. So he had a dog and a cat on his lap that he had to pet because, you know, they're both demanding little things. Essie is like, you will pet me, and Mochi was like, you will most definitely pet me. So yeah, he sat there and petted the girls for, you know, the whole time that we were in here in the studio. So funny. I'm still laughing at Sushi's reaction to Essie's energy, because once Essie simmered down, Sushi was totally fine. It was just too much with Essie's energy. It was just too much for her initially, so she had to like get her to settle down, which involved slapping her. It was so funny. I'm still laughing about this, but that was my weekend. And then we're gonna have a good like birthday lunch today before I head back home, because I'll leave after lunch and head back home, because I still have to mow the lawn today. And if I don't mow the lawn today, then it's going to, hopefully it's not raining when I get home, but I want to try to be able to mow the lawn today. And if I don't mow it today, then it gets hard for me to mow during the week, because it's like, you know, you get busy with work stuff and everything else. So I struggle with mowing during the week, and I can't wait until next weekend, because then it'll take me ridiculously forever to mow, because it's been raining so much that the grass has been growing like crazy. So that's why I have to head out lunchtime today. So we're going to try to have like, you know, a nice good lunch for lunch, and then I will head out and go from there. My mom just texted me, so I need to reply back. She's like, what you doing? And I'm like, no, stop that. I am filming my WIP and chat. There, let me send that off. Talk to text is always the nicest thing ever. So, this week, oh my goodness, it's been rainy this week. We had a major inspection at the hospital, so we had the Joint Commission. If you work in the hospital field, medical field at all, you have spent any amount of time working at a hospital, you've probably heard of Joint Commission. So the Joint Commission, they're like the major accreditation body for hospitals. So we had the Joint Commission come out to we didn't have it. They came out to our hospital this past week. They were there to do our triannual accreditation process. So we were super, super busy at work all week long, because they were there, and we had to make sure everything was, you know, going well and all that stuff. So we had them there doing the accreditation, the inspection, all of that. So that kept us like super busy all week long. And to top it all off, the inspectors, the space that they gave as like the designated conference room that the inspectors would have as like their base of operations for the week, was the physical and occupational therapy conference room. So literally they got to be like literally right next to my office, because there's my office door, and then, you know, 5 feet away is the conference room office door for us. So they were like literally right there. I got so much traffic past my office, and like I normally don't get a lot of traffic when I'm in my actual office, because it's kind of like out of the way. It's not in the main clinic space. It's kind of set off to the area, which is nice because it makes it easier to get stuff done. But yeah, so we were super busy at the hospital this week. I want to say, but we did really well from our inspection. Wednesday after, and it's been like rainy all week long. Well, Wednesday, it was it was good during the day, kind of like gloomy, overcast, because we have windows in the clinic. and I have a window in my office. And then the end of the day approached, and I'm like, okay, it looks like it's gonna rain. It's threatening to rain. I feel like it's gonna happen any minute. So I was like, let me change and get out of here at least a few minutes early to try to beat the rain. Well, in the time it took me to change out of my uniform, which is like 3 minutes, and then walk around the corner to the door, it had started torrential downpouring, like legit torrential downpour. And I'm like, great, because I'm like, I don't want to go to walk to my car in that, because, you know, I would be like literally drenched. And I was wearing jeans, and there's nothing worse than having wet jeans. That is probably the worst sensation ever, is wet jeans. So we did have a spare umbrella, because I'm like, I don't want to sit here and wait for this to like see how long it's going to take for the rain to stop or to slow down enough that I'm not going to get completely drenched walking to my car. So we had an extra umbrella in the locker room, in one of the lockers that's just been sitting there. So I was like, let me grab that, and I'll use the umbrella to walk out to my car, because I never think about having an umbrella in my car, because I'm so used to, you know, Hawaii, where it rains for like 5 minutes and then it stops. Or I'm used to, you know, the desert where there's no rain at all, ever. Sorry, I smack into my tripod, easel, whatever you want to call it. So with all of that, it was, I'm trying to think, yeah, so I took the umbrella, still kind of tried to wait a minute or two, and it did start to slowly ease down, where it wasn't torrential downpour, but it was still like a really big rain. It was still raining hard. But I'm like, okay, this is good enough. I feel like I could actually get to my car and not be soaked. I rolled up my pant legs a little bit, because if I didn't, my pant legs would have been totally wet, because it was like the one day that I didn't wear my like skinny jeans. So I walked out, got to my car. The water is like 4 to 6 inches deep in the parking lot, because it can't keep up, the drainage thingies can't keep up with the amount of water coming down from the sky to drain the water out of the parking lot. So it was raining hard still, but I got to my car. The back of my legs, like between, like from the water that splashes up when you walk, because you're like, I can either walk super slow and get wet because I'm walking ridiculously slow, or I can walk fast, but then you get the water splash up from your feet. And it gets the back of your pants wet. So that it was kind of like either or, you're going to get some kind of wet. So I opted for that wet. So really the only water that I had on me was from the splash up from my feet as I was walking. So that wasn't too bad. So it was quite the rainy day. Thankfully, when I get home, I have a carport that leads right into like my laundry room. So I don't have to get wet when I get home. I could just go straight into the house. But yeah. It was quite wet on Wednesday, and it's been wet all week. But, you know, that's fine. I like rain. So anyways, rained Wednesday. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've been up to. I think that's like the bulk of what I've been up to this week. Oh, I've been working on... Oh, I've been doing pretty good about not doing a ton of purchases. I think I've decided I'm going to do like a... towards the end of the month, be like, these are all of the things that I purchased this month, like diamond painting wise, or like all the ones that arrived, because some of them I purchased earlier and then they take a while to arrive. So I think I'm going to do it as like, here are all of the things that arrived this month, or I got this month. For my birthday, well, I was going to buy, so you guys know, a Yume came out this weekend. So that was a must buy, because Yume is on the exempt list. So even if I'm on a no buy, I'm still going to buy a Yume. So I was going to get the Yume, and then I was like trying to decide, do I just buy the Yume or do I buy something with it? Because there were a couple kits that I really liked, and I love the Lyubka cats. I just love those little fuzzy cats. They're so cute. So I was like, well, I was debating, and I was like, on the fence. And then I was like, you know what? There's so many random square drills in this canvas, or in these drills. So I ended up saying, okay, no, I am going to get the little fuzzy Christmas cats. So, or the winter cats, whatever you want to call them, with the little cat. So those were the two that I was going to get. And then my parents ended up like giving me money for them. So that was their birthday present to me, were those two canvases. So that was nice. And then my brother shipped, he ordered my birthday present and sent it to me. It's probably going to be Legos, because I think it's probably Legos. So I should be getting that on Tuesday, I want to say, my birthday present from my brother. Because we talked to him last night, and that'll be like the last chance I get to talk to him before I don't get to talk to him for a few months. So, but yeah, that was the, what was I saying? Oh yes. So I got those two canvases, and my parents paid for those. So I'm like, okay, I should get my birthday code from Diamond Art. I was really wishing they would have sent it a day early, because then I could have used my birthday code yesterday with the new releases. So I was bummed but no, I have to wait until today to get it. So I may see, because there's a couple of things that are still on I have a bunch of stuff on my wish list. So since I was expecting to buy those two canvases yesterday, but then they were given to me, I may wait a couple days and see what kind of things restock. And then based on that, if anything that I really need restocks, then I may pick that up. Otherwise, there's a couple on my wish list that have restocked recently that I really want. So I may use my birthday code for a canvas or two. We'll see. We will see. I am making good progress on this. I've only been going for like 37 minutes, and we've got most of this corner of the 310 done. I'll probably go around the entire canvas and do the 310 around the entire canvas before I start filling in the next color. That's going to be the tedious part. You can see all of this single placey business of I think that's the 939 that I'll be single placing there. So I'm like, yay, that's gonna be fun, because I hate the checkerboardy style of everything. So yeah, but overall, if you look at August and the canvases that I have accumulated in August, it's definitely much, much better than what I did in July. So I'm really pleased with that. I do have my custom, which I need to add the custom to my Gems Flow, because I hadn't added that yet. So I need to add that in. Oh yes, and then another birthday present that I got from my parents was actually the original painting that my custom diamond painting, my Diamond Art Club custom, is based off of, is that original painting that my mom painted. She matted it and framed it, and gave that to me as well. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I plan on doing that canvas, and then I want to mount it and hang it on the wall, and I'm going to hang it next to the actual original painting. So I'm going to have them both hanging right next to each other, which is going to be super cool. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, that's been basically my life in a nutshell for this past week. I don't know that I've been doing much other than that. So it's been busy, lots of stuff. I am going to a concert next weekend, and I will be staying at a friend's house for it. So I'll try to film my whip and chat the night before. So, because I don't leave until Saturday, so I'll film my whip and chat we'll see. I'll have to film my whip and chat early on Friday, because I have to take my painting class on Friday night, since I'll miss my painting class on Saturday. But I should be able to do my whip and chat that evening, earlier in the evening when I get home from work. That'll be my goal. Oh wait, actually no, I have Friday off, so I'll easily be able to do it, because I have a 4-day weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because of the holiday. So that'll be good, because I'm only going to be gone out of town Friday, Saturday, or not Friday, but Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that'll easily work out. I forgot about that. So I have Friday off. That's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to having, a long weekend. Ooh, it's going to be so much fun. And I'll get a little bit of downtime amidst, the crazy of flying out for the concert, hanging out with a friend. I'm staying at a friend's house. And she's already got like a list of all the things that we're going to do while I'm there. So it's going to be super fun. And this is the first concert that I will have like dressed up for. Normally I just, you know, wear jeans and a t-shirt to the concerts. But for this concert, because this is like one of the bands I've been following them for, they debuted 19 years ago. August is actually their 19-year anniversary. So they debuted 19 years ago. So this is the lead singer. He's doing his solo tour right now. But I've been following them and him for probably 18 years. I didn't start in 2000. I don't think I started in 2006 when they first debuted. I think I probably started following them in like early 2007, maybe, something to that effect. But I'm super excited because that concert is, it's like a bucket list concert for me, is to see him in concert. So that's going to be Sunday night. I'm like really, really excited for it. So that was like my birthday present to myself, is going to that concert. And I'm excited about it. It's going to be so good. So anywho, that is my agenda, my plan for the weekend. So I'll be able to film my whip and chat before I leave. So you guys won't get to hear about the concert in my trip with my friend. You guys won't get to hear about that until not next week, but the week after whip and chat, because, you know, I'll be leaving. I'll be doing my whip and chat before I leave. So you guys will have to stay tuned for the fun and shenanigans kind of a thing. So anywho, yeah, that is kind of like, I think probably once I finish this little bit of 310, we will probably call it there, because I think I want to go try to spend some more time with my parents, and we're trying to do an early lunch, eat around like 11ish for lunch, because I want to leave here about 12ish to head out, and I have to edit the video and get it up and all that fun stuff. So anywho, that is basically what I have for you guys. I feel like it's been a whirlwind of everything, but here we go. Last ones. Boom. Look at that. Finished this section of 310. And I only dropped a handful of drills this time. So let's put the drills away. Boom, 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 boom. This canvas does have a glow-in-the-dark drill. I want to say this light blue right here is like a glow-in-the-dark. So it's their electro or glow-in-the-dark. But we're going to turn this off so we can see what it looks like. Not much of a difference, but we have that entire section of 310 done. Woohoo! Almost halfway around. Not quite halfway up the top. But we'll fold the plastic back. And I'll have to rotate it. Look at that. I'll have to rotate it to get to the next section. I started almost at halfway here. Basically at the halfway mark here. But I didn't quite get up to the halfway mark for that. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Whew. I hope you guys enjoyed this whip and chat, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.